up on today's Friday First.
Ever fancied a bowling alley or a cinema at home? We went inside one of the best student accommodations on offer.
We will also get a reminder of whether our reporter made it as a UFC champion.
And from ice bars to cereal cafes, we'll show you some of the more quirky attractions to open in Manchester this year.
Hello and welcome to Friday First. Today we're taking a look back at some of the best from Quays and from the last semester. So what did you look for when you were applying to your accommodation here at uni, Matt?
I wasn't that too bothered, like obviously it needs to be nice, but I wasn't too fussed.
Abby?
I needed my own bathroom.
Same,
yeah,
ensuite.
I needed an ensuite,
Ensuite. Harry?
Somewhere just cheap, I think. Affordable,
He's just a cheapskate, he doesn't
Pretty
care.
much.
Well, most of us know that student accommodation isn't the most glamorous place to live.
That's right, cramped, cold, not much to keep you entertained, and don't even get me started on your annoying flatmates.
Yeah, but that's all about to change for students living in the centre of Manchester. Jamie Glover took a sneak peek before the students arrived.
For hundreds of university goers in Manchester, the expectation of student accommodation is about to change as they swap dingy flats for something a little more luxurious. This luxury does come at a price, with rooms ranging between £139 and £168 per week. But is there really a demand for this kind of accommodation?
I think Manchester's such a hub for students from not just the UK but from across the world, that students are entitled and should be offered, you know, what the rest of kind of non-student population would like. So Lambert Fairfield House really does offer something for everyone. So there's plenty of study space, kind of business suites for doing university work, but in the downtime there's also lots to be done. Prodigy Living is all about community living, so we wanted to provide our residents with, you know, more than just kind of your study spaces, your business suites, give them entertainment as well. So there's a fitness suite, cinema room, bowling alley. It's all included in the price of the rent. So it's like fully comp really, everything's included. And to help with their kind of academic studies, kind of the relaxation we feel is important too.
Prodigy Living have spent £3.5 million refurbishing 2 accommodation blocks in the city centre. And after a stressful day of studying, there's plenty in the building to keep you entertained. You can work up a sweat in the gym, or you can shoot some pool. You can chill out and watch a film in the cinema, or you can even challenge your friends to a game of bowling. This certainly seems like a very striking place to live. Jamie Glover, Quays TV News.
Now, we used to sing poppies commemorating those who died in the First and Second World Wars.
Yeah, but one Manchester gardener hopes a more dainty white flower will help us remember them. Hannah Smith reports.
Manchester is in bloom. The National Trust planted thousands of snowdrops last September that are now finally making an appearance to mark the centenary of the First World War. But why snowdrops?
Snowdrops were chosen because they were planted during the war alongside war graves to remind soldiers of home. They're a symbol of hope and peace, and importantly they come back every year. So if you planted poppies, they would flower for 1 year and then not come back again, whereas the snowdrops will come back and actually multiply by themselves, and eventually we'll get these huge carpets of white across the city.
An installation at Manchester Art Gallery is drawing in the public. I found out what they thought.
It's pretty amazing. It's a really nice tribute. I think it's been done pretty tastefully, you know.
Yeah. You are used to poppies, the red, the colour of red, whereas white's different, it's calmer.
Snowdrops are they're happier, I think, and they're nicer to look at, and it's just, I think it's made the whole building look really nice, actually.
It's beauty, isn't it? And with the backdrop of all that death and carnage and everything, it's good to see something good out of something that's horrible, really. So.
Here at Manchester Art Gallery is just one of the many places where members of the public can see all of these snowdrops. Other locations include the Cathedral and Castlefield.
Sean says snowdrops are easy to grow at home.
They are easy to establish as long as you do it correct. So if you plant bulbs, you need to make sure that you've got bulbs that haven't dried out and you plant them early in the season. So September, if you leave it too late, then they may find it hard to flower in their first year.
As a tough little flower, Manchester may be seeing their little white friend for years to come. Hannah Smith, Quays TV News.
Some big news today in football. So the Premier League have announced that they will be sharing at least £1 billion of TV deal money with lower league and grassroots clubs. And now onto mixed martial arts, as it's best known through the UFC franchise and is becoming increasingly popular worldwide as fights are streamed to more than 150 countries in 22 languages. Gorani Jelavina went along to a local gym with the high hopes of becoming the next UFC champion.
There's a skill to learn, like drama.
Mixed martial arts is a mixture of judo, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling.
Here at the Monkey MMA Academy, they're training the next generation of fighters, hoping to break out into the UFC spotlight.
My aspiration is definitely going to the UFC and fighting at the top.
UFC is to MMA what the Super League is to rugby. Fighters like Silva and Diaz set the bar for those like Javon who one day aspire to compete in main event fights.
Looking at UFC like it's a good breadwinner for them. I mean, Javon and Ashley have just turned pro. They've had a hell of a semi-professional career. So I'm really stoked and excited for their pro debuts.
Most people on like the MMA scene don't even know I work during the day. They just think I train most of the time. 10 fights, making sure they're all wins, and then I'll be knocking on the door of the UFC.
With only 6 weeks until his professional debut, don't be surprised to see the name and fights of Javon Morrison beamed across the world. Gorani Jelavina, Quays News.
Now, how many coffees would you guys normally get through during an hour? Kate, I know you're more of a tea drinker, but you guys?
Yes.
I prefer tea, but...
Yeah, not many in an hour.
No,
I only drink
really.
coffee for like deadlines early mornings kind of thing.
Well, if the answer's more than one, then there's a new venue that can make your caffeine addiction just a little bit cheaper.
Bradley Harris has been to a new coffee shop where you pay by the minute.
Welcome to Zifferblatt, a brand new social space in the Northern Quarter and Manchester's first pay-as-you-stay coffee hangout. The idea is simple. Everything is free except for the time you spend there, because at Zifferblatt, time literally is money.
Zifferblatt is a shared sitting room, if you like, where you pay for the time that you spend here as opposed to what you consume. So we charge 5 pence per minute, and that's all. So all tea, coffee, food, biscuits, cake, fruit, cereal is free.
With drinks flowing freely, and with all the biscuits you can eat, you might expect the coffee to taste as cheap as the price. But if you take a sip yourself, you may well be in for a bit of a surprise.
The two things that we didn't want to skimp on was coffee and Wi-Fi, because, you know, they're key. The coffee is actually from a guy called Jamie who runs the Ancoats Coffee Company, which is about a 5-minute walk that way. Yeah, Jamie's great, and the coffee is even though we say it, it's really good.
The space isn't just for coffee drinkers either. For all you avid gamers out there, Zifferblatt doesn't hold back. They've gone to town with all the classics, and you can even play a spot of chess on the side. So whether you're here for a meeting or just fancy chilling out on the sofa, you can't deny that this new social hub will certainly be something to Instagram about.
At only 5p a minute, I think it's going to take a while for me to get back to the studio. Bradley Harris, Quays TV News.
Right, so if you were into a cafe in the centre of Manchester today, you might get a coffee or maybe a slice of cake, but you wouldn't be expecting to buy a bowl of cereal. The new cereal cafe has opened in Affleck's Palace. Has anyone been down to see it?
I've not, no.
Not yet, no.
If you did go, what cereal would you get?
Lion Bar cereal. It's so nice.
Never heard of that.
No, I'm not really a big cereal eater, so I'd have to take my time to have them all peruse and choose.
I'd go traditional Cocoa Pops, I think.
With you on that one.
Our reporter Jess Jepson went to check it out.
Black Milk Cereal Dive, Manchester's first ever cereal cafe, has opened its doors just weeks after London's serial killer cafe arrived. Yes, that's right, a cafe dedicated entirely to cereal. The small cereal cafe has opened in Affleck's Palace and is already a great success, offering a variety of cereals, toppings and flavours of milk.
I think this kind of business, it's fresh for Manchester, so Affleck is the perfect place to do something fresh and new, because it's not just trying to get people off the street into your shop. That's new, completely new, that people don't really understand. Whereas Affleck's, you've got that walk for anywhere already. You've got the kind of people who would be interested in a cereal bar, something completely different, because it's not your normal coffee shop. So I think it's the perfect place to start a business. It's amazing how many different kinds of cereals there is. Like, I mean, even your simple cereals like Special K, there's like 20 to 30 different kinds of Special K, which is like crazy. So the American ones have been obviously very, very difficult, and obviously are very, very expensive to source as well. So But yeah, apart from that, really, it was fun more to start off with because we ended up, I think, with about 400 different types of cereal in our shopping basket, and then obviously cut it down to like 70 cereals.
Absolutely love it. Like, it's such a fun concept in it, and like everybody who comes in, we like love it too as well. And, like, we've had like a lot of like proper cereal enthusiasts and so on, and like everyone just like relives their childhood.
We asked the public what they thought of the idea.
I think it's a very good concept and I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really good idea because it's something different.
Jess Jepson, Quays TV News.
So if you're popping into Manchester city centre over Easter, you might want to check out a new bar which is open in Spinningfields. Andy Riley went to the coolest place to open in Manchester this year.
Spinningfields, Manchester, home to the city's very first ice bar. So once you've been outside and you've managed to get yourself your wristband and you've put exactly how much you want on there, then you come into this lovely warm area for half an hour or so where they have some really quite tasty fruit-based cocktails. Before you head into the main ice bar, let's go in and see the ice itself. Well, this is a bit different. It's this is fantastic. Really, really nice. Very cold. All we need is Jean-Claude Van Damme himself to turn up. We're going to have Rudimental on the decks. James, so the technical side of this ice bar, how do you actually turn a room like that into basically a huge giant block of ice?
A lot of hard work, basically. So we've had a team of 14 plus on site for 5 days, working very long hours. Technically, in essence, it's a huge freezer that we then put 6 tons of ice into, which gets sculpted, and we've got 4 mono blocks working at full power all the time to keep it between -20 and -5.
So it's normally -5 when people are coming in?
-5, it fluctuates slightly, but it's always cold enough for you to feel it, definitely.
Fantastic, it's a great area for it, you know, for it to be placed. I think it'd be really receptive for the guys in the area.
Well, we've been wanting to come for a long time. We've heard about it on the radio. And
we're really excited to see how cold it is. We've heard that there's an ice wolf inside that we can sit on, so we're really excited about sitting on the wolf
so
and getting our picture taken. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's great, in a great location. Spinningfields, part of the city. So, yeah, definitely I'll be popping in to have a drink or two.
Andy Riley, Quays News, freezing.
Now, Tom Percival, our Quays resident film buff, is here for a one-off special review of When the Lights Went Out. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
On my busy Saturday evenings, I spend it scrolling through Sky Movies looking for something that I've not seen to watch, and I stumbled across this, When the Lights Went Out from 2012. It's the story of a family who move into a house in Pontefract, and what do you know? It's haunted.
Horror film then.
It is a horror film, yeah,
God,
and I must say it's actually one of the more enjoyable horror films I've ever seen. It's playing on the old cliches that you see every time, you know, the Hollywood, oh, there's something in this house. But far more than that, what makes it brilliant is you take all those elements, throw them into Yorkshire, and it's just hilarious all the way through. Unintentionally, obviously, but it's like, you know, have you seen Poltergeist? You must have. You both.
No.
You've never seen Poltergeist? Steven Spielberg will be mortified, I'm sure. Anyway, it takes like those elements of, you know, like an exorcist coming round and saying, "There's unclean spirits in this house." It's those voices that do it for you. Well, this one might be okay because take that, make it Yorkshire. It's like, hey up. I reckon there's something wrong here. There's something not quite right about it.
I might be able to go up then.
You probably would.
Maybe.
It's definitely worth a watch. It's one of those films where you can't come out of it and say, what a good film. But you do come out of it and you say, well, there's certainly something about that to enjoy. Absolutely. So, you know, it's probably one of those films you give it 5, 6 stars, depending quite how you feel.
So it's kind of halfway.
It's kind of halfway. Yeah, I feel bad actually saying 5 stars. You know what? I'm going to go up to 7. Why not? Why not? Yeah, I'm feeling positive today. It's a Friday.
So who's it directed by? Is
it's
it someone
directed
big or?
by a man called Pat Holden, whose body of work isn't maybe the most glamorous body of work you'd expect, but it has got Kate Ashfield in from Shaun of the Dead. Have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
Oh yes.
You've seen Shaun of the Dead?
Have you seen Shaun of the Dead?
You've not seen Shaun of the Dead?
No.
You are missing out there.
Wow.
I know.
But no, she's all right in it. You kind of get the feeling she's there a bit for the paycheck. But as I say, there's a lot to enjoy in it. You know, it's if you're ever bored on a Friday night, Just, you know, it's a Friday night film. Give it a watch. Give it a watch. Yeah,
so
definitely.
7 stars now.
7 stars. We're going with 7.
Overall thoughts of the
Overall
the film?
thoughts. Not the scariest, but it's worth to see a Yorkshire ghost, the Black Monk of Pontefract, I think he's called. Yeah, up now. You know.
I'd probably find it scary. Would I think I'd find it scary?
No, you wouldn't.
No.
It's really not. Like, I was expecting those crash, bang, wallop, what a scare type moments.
Yeah.
You never get them. You never get them.
Never.
It's far more sort of like crap CGI, essentially, coming at you.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks very much, Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Now, we've been showcasing some of the unique musical talent on Friday first this year. Gemma O'Reilly came in and played I Found Me.
Been stuck in the dark for much too long. You left me in the shadows writing songs, but not today. No, not today. No, you can't stop me anymore. Look at me now, here I am. I am coming back again. Dealt with your secrets and lies as you looked at me with green eyes. Look at me now, can't you see that I have found me? I remember when you said we'd stay best friends. Didn't love forever, was a game of pretend, and it's been caught out on my own. But I have found myself again. Look at me now, here I am. I am coming back again. Dealt with your secrets and lies as you looked at me with green eyes. Look at me now, can't you see that I have found me? Ain't it funny how things change? Just an old photo on the page, and it'll never be the same. Look at me now, here I am. I am coming back again. Dealt with your secrets and lies as you looked at me with green eyes. Look at me now, can't you see that I have found me?
Yeah, we'd just like to apologise for some of the naughty language that Tom has used in his film review today.
Tom, you know, I hear there's a new job on BBC replacing Jeremy Clarkson. You should go for that.
Now, we've dug deep into the archive this morning and have managed to find some of our best or worst, a bit debatable, bloopers. Take a look at this.
Now, Bethan, are you doing anything for Valentine's Day next week?
I am actually. I'm going for a meal in town. Don't miss them. Great hat, Luke.
Was it really?
It looked great.
This
brilliant.
new banana from Autocue.
You can work up a sweat in the gym.
A 18-year-old girl who, after a bit of How's Your Father, finds herself pursued by what I can only describe as an ST demon. I actually quite enjoyed 50 Shades of Grey. The dialogue is terrible. The two main leads have no chemistry with each other. I'm looking so crazy right now. You know,
Love it.
no, I
A bit of
really
Beyonce
enjoyed
there
it.
was
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Tom. Maybe in your own deluded mind. But
La, 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 la. You got it.
Yay! Oh dear.
That was incredible. So I think you should go for you should do a performance on Friday first. Maybe a Beyonce medley or something like that.
Maybe if you love it.
It did seem like we were looking at the screen for ages. It dragged on for
I
so
was, but you were looking around everywhere, weren't you?
I'm never commenting on anyone's outfit choices ever again.
That's probably a wise choice.
Well, unfortunately, that is all from us today and for this semester.
We're taking a 3-week break and we'll be back on the 21st of April with Quays News.
Have a good break and enjoy Easter, guys. See you later.
See you later. Bye.